Non-stop for 90 minutes. Now it's time for your daily visit. Mickey Talks. Mickey Talks. He's with Matt Davis. Mickey Talks. So here's the latest. Mickey Talks. We're glad you made it. Mickey Talks. Mickey Talks.
76, Matt. Just like 1776, like 1976.
I-76.
I-76,
Now we're coming
76
to you
years
for a
old.
while. Yeah.
This show is 76 episodes old today.
Love it. Yeah.
It's incredible, right?
Season 2.
Season 2, we're in it. In our second week of season 2 or
Something
third.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
We get a new
crazy.
theme song every time we have a new season. That's
Yeah,
why we
Every time they write
created
us
the
a,
season.
every time Dennis Shockett and Bronson write us a theme song,
Yeah.
a new season starts. I think it's a clever way to do it.
I love it.
So how was your day?
I think it's been an overall exciting day for us, man, hasn't it?
So, well, you know the night I had last night.
Yeah.
Left here, went to a business meeting that lasted close to 3 hours. Left with a deal.
Yep.
That we will announce probably tomorrow. Then got up this morning at 8, was in Bel Air by 9, in Annapolis by noon, and here by 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Good meetings all day. The show is growing.
Met with another sponsor today that could be incredibly beneficial to all of us.
For sure.
So let's just keep hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man.
I'm also excited to get to our guest today. This guy I met, 10, 12 years ago when I was on the radio. I was fascinated because he is a clothing designer. And I've talked about this on the show with you where, I actually like fashion. I do. I think some of it's goofy and weird. But, I love seeing a very good dressed man or a well put together lady with an outfit.
Yeah.
I think that
I need help in that department.
Yeah,
I think.
you do. I've been watching for years, Matt. For years, I've been watching. But this gentleman is I found out the French word is clothier.
Okay.
Okay.
Brushing up on your French.
Yes, and that's the only French word I know.
Yeah.
Oui. So this gentleman, Christopher Schaefer from Christopher Schaefer Clothier, and it's good to see you, my friend.
Yes, you too. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. Now, I met Chris, if I may call you Chris or
Yes,
Christopher.
Chris is cool, yeah.
Okay. I met Chris, like I said, he reached out to the show. We came up, and he said, let me make you a suit. And I'm like, well, I don't wear them much, and he said, you'll love it. And he made me a suit that was, to this day, the best suit I've ever owned. It's a couple shirts that went with it. I've never felt better in clothing in my life. And I understand why people, when they can afford it, do it. Because really is
a well-fitted suit, man. Nothing like it.
When you can raise your arm and you don't feel like your whole ass just came out.
Right.
You just move like a normal person.
You're not all baggy.
Yeah. So, Chris, I know we talked about this years ago, but I'm going to start from the beginning with you because I do think you're a fascinating guy.
Thank you.
When did you know you wanted to make clothes?
Well, I didn't really get into the business until, well, it's weird because when I think back to the beginning of it, is that my first job that I had was a paper boy, and I pretty much worked to make my own money to buy my own clothes because I was getting hand-me-downs from my 3 older brothers.
Right.
And by the time they got to me, they were pretty busted.
5 years out of style.
They were.
No knees in the jeans.
Even
all that.
the double reinforced toughskins were spent. So, so I started making my own money so I could start to buy my own clothing at that age.
Yeah.
And that was 5th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super impressive, actually.
Yeah. So it's
so you're like 11 or 12 at that point,
yeah,
right?
about 11 years old. Yeah. So
Yeah.
which I have an 11-year-old now, and I look at him and I just think about sometimes of that.
Why don't you get off that video game and get a paper route, you lazy bastard?
It's a shame that job isn't available
No
anymore.
kidding.
That was
you're right.
I learned so much.
I did too, man. I did.
You learn about customer service.
Absolutely.
For sure.
No, and you learn about being prompt. Because
Yep.
if the paper's late,
The phone's ringing.
Yeah, and they're out there waiting on
Yeah.
the porch. Where you been?
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
hurricane right now. Doesn't stop the press.
That's right.
You know.
Bag it up.
So at that age, you start obviously finding an interest in clothing,
Right.
which I'll be honest with you, and I shared this before the show started. I've talked about it on the show. I like fat clothing.
Right.
When I was a teenager, I dressed differently than all my friends. I didn't have any money, but when I was a punk rock kid like you,
Sure.
so I would put together weird outfits and stuff, and I always thought I loved, like, my first love really of fashion and music was the Sex Pistols.
Sure.
Right? I was like, I dig what that I didn't understand it then, but looking back, you never saw anything like that before.
No, that was Vivian Westwood.
Yeah, Vivian Westwood and
Yeah,
Malcolm
Westwood,
McLaren.
Oh yeah.
And so I was interested. But you went down the path, man. How
Yeah.
did that happen?
I didn't expect to, honestly, because I took an interest in that because similar kind of thing is growing up, being into music and into punk rock and into skateboarding, and there's a fashion that goes with
Absolutely.
that. There's definitely a fashion that goes with
That's
that.
the culture.
It is, for sure, and that
Yeah.
was something that very much interests me. And my parents weren't going to buy me all those clothes. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I started making my own money, buying my own clothes, and then right around that same time is when I started playing music all the time.
Right.
And it's the same thing. Music and fashion go very hand in hand.
Forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where it sort of started, but it was but music really was the part that really took off for me, and I'd focused on that for a long time. And there was a time when I was playing music and I was making clothes, like making stage clothes and stuff like that, so I did some of that stuff, but and even like had a t-shirt company, and did
Now, are you in your late teens, early 20s at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So it's like, and I was just sort of it's funny because I was wearing one of the t-shirts like earlier today because I was like beach bumming because I just came.
Oh, wow.
So it's like I've held on to some cool clothes over the years. You know what I mean?
That's awesome,
Sometimes my
man.
wife is like, "You should get rid of that." So I'm like, "No way! I want to like hand it down." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some of my dad's stuff. You know
Of
what I mean?
Do you
course.
still have the first thing that you ever made?
Yeah, I think in the attic. Yeah, I think some
Yeah.
of the stage clothing stuff is up there because like it'll bust out for Halloween. Sometimes the kids will wear it and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a cool
So it's
thing,
like-
man.
yeah, so it's pretty fun.
When did you make the transition and say, okay, I'm going to go from being a punk rock skate kid and I'm going to make, beautiful men's suits? When did you take the dive?
Well, so it was about let me see. I got married in 2006, and then by 2007, my wife's work sent us to London, and when I went over there, I went for her work just to be supportive of her.
Sure.
But it was same thing. It was a really wild, bumpy ride. We got married in September of 2006, and then it was looking like her work was going to send us overseas, and then it looked like it wasn't going to happen. So we started house hunting, and we purchased a house, and it was the first house that I ever bought. And I was kind of like, I think I'm like settling down now.
Yeah,
I
sure,
got
sure.
married, I bought a house,
Yeah.
I'm kind of ready to chill.
Time to be a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put on the big boy pants.
Right,
And
yeah.
3 days after we closed on the house, her work said you can go to London. 3 days.
Oh my God.
It was we didn't even talk about it for a week. We didn't even know what to say or do.
Yeah. What could you do?
So we, then we thought about it and we discussed it. We're like, what an opportunity. We had bought a house in the 50s and we're like, this house was here before we were here. It's going to be here when we're gone.
Right.
We should take this opportunity and go. And we went over there and went for her work. And right when I got there, I got an ear infection and I was deaf for 3 weeks in my left ear, and I thought I had permanent hearing damage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they don't just give out antibiotics over there.
No, I know.
It's like
Yeah, dude.
And by the time I finally was like I couldn't take it anymore, it was a Sunday, and trying to find antibiotics on a Sunday in London was hard. But
Yeah.
it felt like someone stabbing me in my ear. It was the most, and so it's like it took 3 weeks to get the hearing back, and I thought there was permanent damage. And
Socialized medicine. Awesome, kids.
there's something to be said for that, There's something to be said. That's the thing.
I'm
Is like,
joking, man. But I hear you, brother.
Well, it's not free. You know what I
Right,
mean? That's
yeah.
the thing. Is like it's
Yeah.
not free. But
Right.
that was a rough
I
was a
bet,
rough
man.
entry in
Yeah.
getting into that country. That was really tough. But then I started job hunting when I was there, and that became my job, was a look for jobs.
Right. Sure.
And I just kind of figured, I'm like, I should be able to find work. I've never had a problem
Right,
finding work
right.
in my life. And I found it to be much more difficult being an American on a work
Sure.
visa.
Sure.
And so I was really fortunate that this headhunter named Greg Smith, he's like 10 years younger than me, and he
Wow.
contacted me and said, "What do you think about learning how to design suits?" And I said to him,
Wow.
I said, "I don't even own a suit."
Right.
I was like, "I don't wear suits. I don't own suits."
Right.
And he said, "Listen, you sound like a creative guy, and if you're willing to hustle and you're willing to learn," and I was
No
like,
shit.
and I said, "I got all the time in the world right now, man." I was like, "I'm away from home. My wife
Yeah.
is working full time."
Right.
And so then that's where that was where it began. And it took,
Was
for
this
me,
like Kings Road? Like, were you in the?
I was in the city. So I was in
Wow.
like the square mile, so it
You were
was
in
like,
London proper.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
man.
It was like,
making English suits.
Learning how to make suits. That's
In
England,
amazing.
yeah.
And I don't know if you know, Matt, but like England men take their suits.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like Italian men do, and like they're the French, like the designers, the English male suit maker.
Well, they're
is a-
some of the most expensive in the world, right? The
It was
Italian suits.
it was challenging. It
Yeah.
was challenging on a lot of levels, and but it was. I started to realize I was like that I'd found my calling.
You're good at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, isn't
I
that
was like,
weird?
it was very strange because it was like, if all growing up, people would ask me, what are you going to be when you're older? And I
It
was
wouldn't
like,
have been in the top 50 things you said.
I told them I was like, I'm going to be a rock star.
Right, of
I was
course.
like, and they're like, what's your backup plan? I was like, none.
None.
There
Yeah.
is none. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's
Being
like,
an unsuccessful rock
Yeah,
star.
I was like,
Yeah. There's my backup
there's
plan.
being a starving
Yeah.
artist. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
that for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
So, that was where it really started to change, was being in London. And then once I started to get some success over there, I realized this is
Wow,
this
I can
is the
do this.
call. Yeah, this is the calling. And then we decided to come home, and that was in 2008, and it was, man, the recession was hitting, and it was a really
Yeah.
hard time to be talking to people about custom suits.
Right.
And I kind of thought I was going to hang it up just because I didn't want to tarnish the that I had this amazing experience being in London. I didn't want to mess with that.
Sure.
And so I was like, maybe I should give it up before, so it's
Before
How,
I
how long
ruin
was
it.
that period that you were in London and
I was over
learning
there
and
for a
working
year.
for a year?
Yeah, it was a year, but it was
okay.
intense. It was an intense year.
Now,
Yeah.
were you studying under really great?
Yeah, I had
designers?
good teachers. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, and so what I've learned too is that it's like, if you're a good student and you have a good teacher, then you learn even more.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
and plus I was like, at that point, I was in my early 30s. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I wasn't a little kid, and I only really ever had jobs before. It's like
Right.
I didn't really have.
I get it. I know
it was like-
exactly what you mean.
It was always kind of like, what do I need to do to pay the bills so that I can play music
Right.
and do the
I-
stuff that I want to do?
I'm
and-
what do I do to pay bills so I can go tell dick jokes? That's my whole
yeah,
adulthood, right? Literally,
yeah,
right? That's
Yeah.
what I tried to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I get it, man.
So was it like gig work for you at first, where you're building putting a suit together for a person here, and before you jumped in?
I
or-
was working for a big company, and they were teaching me everything. And
No, I meant here in the States.
Yeah, when you got
when I
back.
started
yeah,
back,
yeah.
yeah, that was hard. That
Yeah.
was.
Did
that
you
was,
start in your house?
No. I stayed working I was working for another company, and I just realized I was like, I had such a different experience being in London, because over there we had like territories, and if you
Yeah.
stayed in your territory and I stayed in mine,
Everybody's good.
everything's cool.
Yeah.
Well, here it wasn't like that.
Right.
And so it became very
Ugly.
it was very
Competitive.
competitive, very
Yeah.
competitive. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I just kind of saw that, like, I realized, so I looked at Baltimore in a different way, because I'd been away and I came back and everybody was telling me this is a blue collar town. No one
Right.
wears suits.
Right.
I heard it over and over
Right.
and over again. And I was like, I don't believe that.
Yeah. People were
Of course.
walk anywhere any day. There's tons
Right.
of suits
I tell you,
everywhere.
it hit me hard one day. I was up seeing this guy, and he had a penthouse office. I think it was 500 or 300 Pratt Street, and it had this view of the harbor
Oh,
and all the boats and everything
Yeah.
like that. And this guy was like, they had an office in London, and they had an office in like somewhere in Florida, and
Right.
he was like flying his jet.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and flying everywhere. And I was like, everybody's telling me that no one has money here.
Right. There's tons
And,
of
and
money
I was
here.
like, I said, man, I gotta put that out of my head. I
Yeah.
can't believe that. And then it's
'Cause you listen to all your punk rock friends, right?
well, yeah, that's the thing. I
Yeah.
knew a lot of creative people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew a lot
Yeah.
of creative people, but I kind of realized, I was like, what
Here's
I,
the problem. A lot of creative people don't know a lot of rich people. That's the problem
Yeah.
originally.
and I
you
tell
know?
you, it's like I think that I was pretty blessed to have like the creative brain and the business brain.
Yep.
Which is tough sometimes.
It's
you know
very
what I mean?
rare.
It's like
I don't have it.
Yeah,
I have the creative side. The business thing, I'm the worst.
but see that's where it's like you gotta either have a team
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like I was going, you know, it was like when I started it off, this fall will be 15 years of being in business.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
How did you make that leap then?
Boy, I brought you something else too.
Oh,
Brought you
wow,
an invite.
look
So
out.
this is going to be a great party.
Oh my God, what are we getting? Oh, dude, we're invited. Official
Yeah.
15-year anniversary party, Matt.
All
It's
right.
going to be
I'm
a
gonna hold this up.
rocker.
People can see it.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
It's 15 years of Christopher Schaefer Clothier.
There you go.
October 18th. Save the date. It's the big anniversary party.
Mm,
Congratulations, man. You know, you're an interesting guy to me because
Thank you.
you're very much you're a free-spirited, creative guy. I mean that. And it's the most attractive thing in a human being to
Thanks.
just have that sort of mind that you can make your own way. You know, and I respect the hell out of it. man.
Thanks, man.
And you give back. And
Oh, yeah.
you got a big benefit.
We do.
Let's talk about that.
Sure. So right about the same time that I'd started the business, I'd started a nonprofit organization called Sharp Dress Man, and we
Right.
recycle suits to dress guys for job interviews who are trying to get back up on their feet. And
It's
so,
awesome.
So,
Yeah.
you know, we have, you know, we keep in-house like about 1,000 garments
Wow.
that we give away for free. Yeah, we basically have it's like a clothing store and
So
everything.
I'm gonna need a 42 short. What do you got?
Yeah,
in
we
there,
got
buddy?
it. You got it.
I'll
Yeah.
be down there,
with
man.
sleeves.
With sleeves. Yeah. I told him the story. I mean, so he made me. I'm not kidding you. This suit. I mean, I looked 6 foot tall in this thing. Like, it was incredible. I loved it. It was my favorite thing to wear.
We told this story on the show.
Did
you
I
know.
tell it when
Yeah,
Carlin cut the
yeah,
pants
yep,
off? Oh, I didn't know
yeah.
if I told it on
Yep,
the show.
Yep.
Yeah, and my son just really enjoyed your work, Chris. I don't know what
Jeez.
to say to you.
So
buddy.
much he wanted one for himself.
5 years old and thought these don't fit. Let me cut the legs right off.
Wow.
He's an interesting.
Isn't that
kid,
how
man.
you started, Chris?
Yeah.
You know, we had my dad was like a big dresser in his day. He was
Yeah.
from Manhattan,
Right.
and then he ended up going back and working with his hands and everything. But for a while, he was like it was like a slick dresser in the city and
Yeah.
stuff. And he had this gray sharkskin suit that used to hang in the
Oh,
closet.
Yeah.
That was like his moneymaker. And I remember when we were kids, we would try that on all the time.
Yeah,
and
hell
stuff, and
yeah.
wear that around. But no, we
Yeah.
never cut the legs off. He would
You
have
never-
killed us. Yeah.
You never let him see you in it either, did you?
We make fun of him all the time, dance around like we were him. You know what I mean? It's funny.
So do you have people that are making suit? Are you teaching people now, or are you hand making all your suits?
No, we do. So with us is that it's like I'm doing suits out of New York and I'm doing shirts out of New Jersey. So it's like I have a really good team of people now.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's
So,
really good.
Did you make that suit?
Yeah,
You did.
yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I love
Thank
that
you.
suit. I
Thank
want
you.
one of those.
Every time I see him,
Yeah.
he's just got the coolest shit
I
on.
know.
And I go, I hate this dick. Look at him. He is such a dick looking so good all the time, man.
Thank you.
I mean
what a
that-
compliment.
I mean
yeah.
it with the sincerest flattery.
Thank you.
But the other cool thing, Chris, you're just a cool dude.
Thanks, man.
Like I like cool dudes. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You know your
You ain't
talent.
so bad yourself.
I'll
Neither
try.
are you two. Yeah.
But you're an incredibly talented guy. If you're out there and you're listening and you enjoy clothing and it's something important to you and it's in your budget, is it ChristopherSchaefer.com?
Yep.
Yeah, ChristopherSchaefer.com. Look him up. But back to the benefit.
Sure.
So it's Sharp Dress Man. You got a big benefit coming up.
We do, yeah. So we're doing a variety show. So it's going to be we have my band is playing. I'm in a band called Glass Fault. I'm the drummer in the band, and then we have a DJ Too Slim who does like house music.
Yeah.
And then
Here's the band right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
It's up
That's
on
us
camera.
right there. Thank
Yeah, it's
you.
an awesome album cover.
And I just got the updated artwork. Let me pull this out so I make sure I got and I'd sent it to you.
A
too,
true
so it's like-
creative showing you
Yeah.
the latest of the
I
artwork.
know, right?
Yeah. So we have also.
It's not finished yet.
Right.
I just got this before I walked in here. That's why I sent it to you. So Mike Quinlan, who we were talking about earlier,
Yeah,
is going to
well,
host
I
it.
got to get him on this show. By the
Yeah,
way,
he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
He's been so helpful over at Sharpest
Mike
Man.
is the greatest guy as far as like helping people.
Yeah,
Mike will do anything for anyone. I love the guy.
Good
Nothing
dude.
but respect for Mike.
he's been super helpful with Sharp Dress Man because we have we have a
Speaking of which, if you could clean him up a little. I didn't want to mention it out loud, Chris, but he could use a shirt, if you know what I mean.
Quinlan. Oh boy.
Mike is a dear friend, by the way.
he's a
so
good guy. Yeah.
I'm only busting balls because he knows. He's laughing right now. Trust me.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's good about it.
He's the
good
best.
about it.
I
So
love him.
it's his birthday, I think, like the day before or a couple of days before.
Oh, cool.
So he's gonna be the host of it.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's gonna host it
What's the date?
July 19th.
And it's at your studio,
No,
right?
no, it's at Checker Spot.
I'm sorry, Checker
Yeah.
Spot Brewery.
Checker Spot, yeah.
I know you gave me this information. I apologize.
I just sent it to you, so it's like if you it's in your
Okay.
phone or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But also Quinlan's hosting it, and then
Your band.
my band Too Slim, comedy by Larry Novak, Adam
Larry's great.
Friesman,
Yeah.
and Daphne London.
Awesome.
And then we're having the Pencil Fighting Championships,
I love this, dude.
and then our friend Coffin is going to be doing. He does this yo-yoing that is it's
Like real yo-yos?
like it's not like the kind you're thinking about. It's like a string with a spindle, and it's not attached to it. You got to see this stuff, man.
Is it like magic kind
It's
of?
sick, man.
Yeah, I
it's
dig
very,
shit
it's
like
very
that.
cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll be, it's like, I was kind of thinking about, it's like, I guess as you get older, you start thinking about stuff from like growing up. I'm like, we used to watch the Gong Show all the
Every
time.
night,
Oh,
dude.
love that
All
show.
the time.
man.
That's
And it was like,
incredible.
and
Yeah.
so, I'm kind of like, I thought this is like the Gong Show without the gong, kind of, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But,
Yeah.
but it, we, like we were talking about it. I did the variety show before COVID.
I did one
Yeah, you
with
did.
you.
Yeah, you
Yeah, it
did
was
one
a
with us.
blast.
Yeah, I think you might have did the one with Rodney Henry. He brought out all the pies and stuff.
No,
maybe.
I
That's
wasn't.
you
I
went
didn't
there?
do that one. No,
Okay,
it was
yeah.
back then. What was her name? Photographer. But she worked for you. I can't think. Very Italian name.
Oh, Valentina.
Valentina
Yeah.
Massa.
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I met her that night, and
Yeah.
I had known her sister and stuff from
Oh,
the
right.
restaurants and bars
Sure.
and things. But yeah, so that's how I associate. So that's when I was there. When
Oh, okay,
That's
yeah,
that
when she was there.
time
Yeah,
frame.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now
it was-
I know you're pencil fighting people.
Yeah.
So Chris Dingle is going to be out there doing that, right? And then
Yeah,
is it
he's
Jeff Martin too?
yeah, Jeff Martin. So he's in California right now. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure
yeah.
that he's gonna be back or
Gotcha.
not. But
Chris, by the way, Dingle
yeah.
from the band Dingleberry Dynasty.
Yep.
One of the most entertaining, like truly performance art guys I've ever met in my life.
Dixie Cup,
Dude,
One of my best friends in the world. He was in my wedding.
yeah. Oh, really? Chris and you were
he was in
tight,
my
tight?
wedding. Oh yeah.
I love that
We
guy.
used to do Matt and Dixie's Circus Sideshow at Fletcher's every Thursday night. We had a wheel we'd spin, and it was chaos.
He's a great dude. I
yeah,
love that
he's
guy.
funny. He's
Yeah,
a funny
yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you can't have fun with that guy, jump off a building because you're
Agreed.
a miserable SOB,
Agreed.
man.
He gets
Yeah.
into it too. It's like
He's the best.
yeah, he's even his wife had told me, she's like he needed this. She's like
I would-
he needed this outlet. And
I wanted to ask, is it the same lady he's been with for
Yeah.
like 20 years? Casey,
Yeah.
right?
No. It's Kathy.
Kathy,
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been together for a long
I mean,
time.
I haven't
They've
seen
been
Chris in
married.
30
Yeah.
years, so
Yeah.
it was a
No.
different girl when I met.
Yes.
You knew
Yeah.
her, different
Yeah.
lady.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
yeah,
Anyway, so this event,
yes.
people buy tickets, they come watch.
No,
the
it's
show.
free. Yeah, it's
How
free.
do you raise money?
So Checker Spot, they're being super cool. They're giving us 25% of the bar sales.
Wow, that is
man.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so
incredible.
and we had thought about whether or not, do we want to sell tickets for it or not?
Right.
And we've been, ever since we've been doing the variety show, it's been free.
Yeah.
And so we thought, free events, it's like I like when it brings that funky, eclectic crowd of people
totally.
that come together.
Oh, I
you know
love
what I mean?
it.
It's
Yeah,
a very
yeah, yeah.
colorful crowd.
Yeah.
And so, we thought about it, and then they said they were willing to go and do that for us. And we said, you know what, let's just keep it free. And
That's smart, man.
What we make, you know what I
And
mean?
let people
So-
donate there if they want.
Yeah,
Get a
if they wanna
QR
donate
code
there.
or something. Yeah.
yeah, so
Good for you.
So that's, we kind of made that decision. Plus, Checker Spot is massive. That place
Yeah.
is really big. you
Yeah.
know? So
I was in it one time, like for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever been in it, but it was
Yeah.
awesome.
We went there. It's near Sharp Dressed Man. So one day after we did a fitting there, I went by there and checked out the whole place.
Yeah.
And we talked about whether or not we could make it happen. And Mike had a date on the books already for his birthday. And so it was like, let's just do it July 19th. So that's how we
Wow.
ended up making it happen for that date.
Now, have you had people reach out to you where you're just like, oh my God, how did this guy know about me? Like flip you out? Have you had a client where you were just like, I can't believe Made a
as
suit?
far as making clothes for them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
anybody ever flipped you out? Like,
Yeah, so it's like, you know, for me,
name drop if you want. I don't
Well-
want to force it out
well,
of
a
you.
lot of people get all stoked about athletes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
you know
I
what
get-
I mean?
yeah,
And
of
so it's
course.
like, and it's like athletes a lot of times will come to me because they can't get clothes to fit anywhere.
Sure.
You know, so they
Yeah.
need it for the function part of it and,
Right.
and the
Yeah,
fashion
right.
part of
Yeah.
it. But
I got that problem, Mick.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, but for me, it's more, I like working with musicians better.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty stoked that I got to work with the guitarist for Turnstile last year.
Oh, no
Oh,
kidding.
nice.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
guys are, man.
They're blowing up. dude.
Killing it
Oh,
right
my
now.
God.
I'm so proud of those kids.
You know, and that's what I told him.
Yeah.
I told him I was like, I felt like it was like a dad talk thing.
Yeah,
you
I
know
get
what
it.
mean?
When I see these young guys
Yeah.
out there grinding and making it happen, I'm like, you know, the old guys are like, yes.
and they're putting Baltimore on the map. You
Damn
know what I mean?
right
They
they
bought
are.
houses here.
I
you
know,
know what I
man.
mean? Like they're local.
They're
for
real
sure.
deal.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, and just super cool guy. You
Yeah,
know
they're
what I
not
mean?
one of those guys that may get successful and then they're like, "Oh, we're actually from DC."
Yeah, we're from
Yeah,
Montgomery
they're
County.
from Baltimore.
Yeah,
man,
they're-
you know,
They're
Yeah.
white trash like the rest of us. Yeah.
Yeah, they rip though.
No, they're
man. Yeah, it's like
incredible.
so that was real cool because I got a chance to talk to him for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, you know, people come in and see me, you know, it's like they didn't get a chance to hang out for a while.
Dude, I
Get
mean,
to know
I
them.
spent 2 hours, maybe longer, and
Yeah.
you're doing the fitting and all. I'm telling you, I hate shit like that. I had the best time. We just
we had fun.
we
man.
just
Yeah,
talked.
Yeah.
you know, it was great. Do you find that? Do you even do any women's clothing?
Nah.
Have you ever?
I take
have
that
you ever
back.
made a suit for a woman?
Mm-hmm.
You have. Is that a totally different approach?
Well, so when I first started, I would do women's stuff. I would
Right.
do
Whatever you had to
alterations,
do,
whatever
yeah.
I had to do.
Right.
And then I kind of realized I was like, that's not really my niche. You
Right,
know, I was
yeah.
like, I like doing I like the masculine, you know, I like
Yeah.
doing masculine work. So I do have some female clients that want masculine clothes.
Sure.
And so I do that work.
Gotcha.
And that's been
But you're not making dresses and that stuff. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, and every once in a while I think about it, but I'm like, I just have a really good thing right now. And
Yeah,
I
why-
think I'm staying in my lane, you know. So
Good for you, man.
yeah. So that, you know, and I find that even like, you know, when I work with a lot of grooms and everything too. So I find
Sure.
like a lot of times couples come in and even the bride is like, she's stoked that there's something that's specifically for the groom. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
yeah.
And then he's into it because, you know, he's
Yeah.
getting, you know, he's in clothes made
Have
for
you
him and
have
stuff.
you ever had to make one for a whole wedding party yet?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
got to
Wow,
be an
that's
unreal.
cool.
Yeah, I've had it for wedding parties for kids a couple times.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Yeah, so it's like it really runs the gamut. I mean, it's like every day is different in my shop.
Let's say I come in Friday.
Sure.
We do a fitting. How long does it take till I get my suit and hand it to
About
you?
8 weeks.
Right. So about 2-month process,
Yeah, about
right?
2-month
Yeah.
process.
That's
It may
when-
be longer. It depends on how many fittings you got to do and everything.
That's when I realized like how serious this stuff is. Like when you go and
Yeah.
you get, and then it takes 2 months to do it. You're like, okay, this isn't like ordering a hat.
No, it's not like even going to Nordstrom.
No,
you
it's
go to
not even
Nordstrom,
close.
you get a really nice suit, and
Right.
they'll alter it for you. But this is
Right.
a custom made suit you're making.
Yeah, you
here,
pick. I
right?
mean, you're picking the fabric and lining, buttons,
Yeah,
stitching,
Color,
colors, all of
It,
it.
I
you know
had
what mean?
fun, man.
Yeah, it's
I
a
bet.
cool process. It's
Yeah.
a fun process.
I love suits. I mean, I don't get a chance to wear them as much these days. I used to do like DJ weddings. And
Yeah.
I'd be on TV 11 and
Sure.
stuff where I wear suits. But
Yeah.
last 10 years, I haven't. But I'm gonna come in eventually.
You
When we
guys
have
should-
money
you
again
know-
one day, I'm gonna buy that
You
green
guys
suit.
should
Yeah.
come in. I have stuff that would fit both of you guys. You should do a photo shoot. I could suit you guys up.
Hell
if you
yeah,
wanna
we would
it.
do that in a
I
second.
definitely in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we do a lot. So about it was in November. So the building I'm in now, I have a 3-story building, and the first floor I had a photo studio in there and an alteration shop, and then with my photographer that was in there moved out, and then we took down the walls on the first floor. And I made a lot more clothes to be able to have in-house of stuff that's
Sure.
already. So it's like, because I was turning away a lot of business during COVID of people who didn't have a couple months to wait.
Right.
So I started making more clothes. And so I keep anything from like a 34 to a 50 chest. So I have, you know,
You have an inventory of
I have an
suits.
inventory. Yeah. And I
Wow.
make the custom stuff too. So it's like,
Now, if a guy walks in and saw a suit on your rack, can he buy it right there?
if it fits him and if I could tweak it to make it work for him, then sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, I was a little bit worried that would mess up the custom business, but
Sure.
it doesn't. It's a
It
nice add-on
enhances
to
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, but that was kind of part of. We had a lot of end of last year, there was a lot of change going on. We had a shop in DC. We closed the shop in DC, and Casey, who ran that shop, moved to Manhattan, and we opened a shop in Manhattan and expanded our shop in Baltimore all in November.
So you have a Manhattan studio
We
now.
do, yeah.
What's that like? It's got to be kind of
pretty cool.
right. I mean, what street are you on?
26th.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Where?
That's
right by the
awesome, man.
Flatiron building.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, and Casey's in his mid 20s, and he's been with me for 7 years. He's been with me since high school, and he's just a really good dude. And he's got a great eye.
Talk about opening yourself up to a whole new clientele being in New York and Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Have you been accepted up there?
it's working. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
man.
it's working. So he's also he has clients in DC, he had clients in Baltimore, and so I'll give it to him. He'll get on the train or the bus, and he'll get, it's like right when he moved to DC, someone sideswiped his car and totaled his car, so he hasn't had a car for 3+ years or something like that. So he just
Wow.
which being in Manhattan, you don't want a car anyway.
Now
Yeah.
is this your partner, protege? Like who is
His
this?
protege, yeah.
Protege. So
yeah,
he studied under you.
yeah,
Got to a point where you said, "Yeah, man, I can trust you.
yep.
Get out there and get us going."
It
That's
was
pretty
right,
impressive.
It was right about the same time. So 4 years ago, I found out that the building that I've been in at 1400 Alessandra Street, I was there for 10
Cool
years.
building, yeah.
And so I was down there, and then I ended up having to move, and I
Right.
bought the building at 2112 Alessandra Street. So right when I was, so this is all, got to figure during COVID, like COVID cut my business in half.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
2020 was half of what 2019 was, which
Right.
was just pretty brutal.
Right.
But during that time, I was like, Casey stepped up and I gave him the opportunity to be running the shop. And I just started I spent a ton of time with my kids.
Good for you.
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah.
So they were doing this asynchronous learning on
Right.
Wednesdays,
Yeah.
which basically like figure it out.
Yeah.
So I started the Rad Dad Academy. So I would do cool stuff with the kids all the
That's
time.
awesome, man.
And like, here's how you build skateboard ramps
Right.
and,
Yeah, heck
dirt
yeah.
bike,
Nice.
so
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff like that. So it gave me a bunch of time to spend time with them and give Casey a chance to run the shop and see how he did.
So smart.
And then once I found out I had to move, I was like, I need to get back in the driver's seat. And so,
Yeah.
so it ended up being 4 years ago, bought the building at 2112 Alessandra, and then signed a lease for a shop in Adams Morgan. And he moved to DC and was down there for 3 years. So he just moved up to Manhattan last year. So he's doing it. He's going for it. He's
Good
a hustler.
for him
Yeah.
and good for you, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And one more time, July 19th, Sharp
Yes.
Dress Man. Give the address, Checker Spot Brewery. Check them out. Chris, you're a good dude, man. And
Thank you.
I root for you, buddy. We do a little segment on here called That's the Facts, Matt. We call it the news.
Okay.
Chime in. We
Okay.
just talk about random stuff going on
Curious
in
to
the
hear
world.
what you guys are talking
Yeah.
about.
All right. This brought to us by Barnes Paving. Amazing people at Barnes. BARNES paving.com. Whether you have a sidewalk, a driveway, a parking lot, whatever it is, these people are incredible. Certified and accredited with the Better Business Bureau, MHIC licensed and insured, and just a phenomenal company to do business with. No job too big or too small. Barnes Paving bringing you That's the Facts.
Matt.
What do we got?
So, I mean, we'll get the sad stuff out of the way first,
Sure.
of course. The Texas flooding, the death toll has topped 100 now, they're saying. The rescue crews in Central Texas continuing to work around the clock today, searching through the storm-ravaged areas for any signs of life. And this comes as the death toll from the devastating flooding has now climbed to at least 104, they're saying. The hardest hit area, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Matt. It's just, I watched a little bit of it last night for the first time, and like I bopped around. I bop around news channels all the time. I don't care about their spin.
Yeah.
I just want to know what they're talking about. And like, but it is like people are like blaming people, and I'm like, would they get like 2 days rain in 3 hours?
It was like a month's worth of rain in 3 hours.
Yeah, like what do you
Yeah.
want anyone to do in that position?
Right.
And this water just came screaming through these campgrounds
Yeah.
and swept people and adults away.
Wow.
It's just a tragedy. It doesn't have to be political,
Yeah.
and it's like, God dang, man. It's a horrible, horrible tragedy.
It is. The hardest hit area is Kerr County, where the Guadalupe River surged more than 20 feet in just a few hours on the 4th of
Jesus.
July. The sheriff's office confirmed 84 deaths in the county alone, 56 adults, 28 children. Many victims have yet to be identified. Amongst the most heartbreaking losses, at least 28 children and counselors from Camp Mystic. 10 girls and one counselor are still missing. The camp was housing about 700 children before the floods. That's
I mean,
just heartbreaking.
Think
you know?
about that statement. A 20-foot surge in
Yeah.
that kind of time.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
How do you deal with that?
That's over a house. Most
I mean,
houses.
it's houses floating
Yeah.
in the river.
I
over
mean,
there,
it's
you
just
know?
crazy.
Yeah.
It's a horrible story. What other good news you got, Matt?
The well, you know, we got
He
news.
starts with the bad news. That always does that.
We end happy.
Oh,
That's how we
okay.
do it
Oh,
here.
I get it.
We don't
end
do
happy.
too much hard hitting news here, but we
That's-
figure
That's
we,
a big one.
we
Yeah,
have
we
to
got to
acknowledge
cover.
that one.
Hey, is Diddy dead yet?
No new Diddy news
All
yet.
right, good.
So
I
we'll
just can't wait
find
for him
out.
to
I feel
die.
like it's going to be a little quiet until around October because that's when the sentencing is going to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. The Trump administration yesterday, as you know, dropped us some news saying that there's just no Epstein list to be found.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's causing a real disturbance with both conservatives and liberals alike. You know, people, half America wanted the Epstein list to nail Bill Clinton, and the other half wants it to take down President Trump.
Yeah.
All America is going to be disappointed, though, because for at least the time being anyway, they're saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The Justice Department and Epstein never had a client list that revealed all the dirtbags he trafficked underage girls to.
Listen.
You got to wonder why, what's her face is even
Pam
in
Bondi.
jail.
Oh,
No,
you're talking about Ghislaine.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, what's she in jail
What's
for?
she in jail for?
Yeah, nothing bad happened.
They're like, let's see, Epstein. We have no record of a
Do you guys know?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Do you guys know who? I think it's Michael McDonald or I forget his name. It's an Irish guy.
The singer?
No. I
That's
know.
what I-
As soon
that's
as
what I
I said
thought,
it,
yeah.
I was just
it's
listening
not
to
Michael.
Christopher Cross.
It's
Yeah.
I'd like to win.
Yeah. No, it's something McDonald. Anyway, he was the head writer on Saturday Night Live for a long time. And I saw him on Conan O'Brien's show. And all of a sudden, somebody brings up the name Jeff Epstein. And he goes, and this is after he's dead.
Never heard of the guy.
No, he does it
We have
different.
no record.
He goes, Jeff Epstein? And they go, yeah. He goes, the real estate guy? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, what about him? And they go, he was arrested for, sex trafficking underage girls on a private island. And he goes, Jeff Epstein, the billionaire. I'm not buying it. Like, it's so funny. And he's totally lying.
Right.
But it's so funny the way he handled it.
I mean, I know a Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
But
right.
not the Epstein just doesn't ring a bell.
No,
I don't know.
No,
Don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Just to answer the discrepancy, though, you know that Pam Bondi
Yeah.
was being interviewed, and she said there was a list on her desk. So that went like this. The anchor, John Roberts, said the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein clients. Will that really happen? And Pam Bondi said, it's sitting right now on my desk to review. So Caroline Levitt explained it like this. She said, yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork in relation to Jeffrey Epstein crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to.
I mean, that's
So
a plausible
was-
deniability.
It is, but I'm not
total
buying it for a
horseshit.
second.
It's total horseshit.
Yeah.
But it's plausible.
Sure.
You know what else is plausible?
Yeah.
The janitor stole it. Like, it's plausible,
Yeah. Right.
but it's bullshit.
And Epstein killed himself, they said.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
You know, I almost, sadly, I hate to say this. Do we really want to know?
Well, here's what tell me what you think of this theory.
Okay.
So FBI, Department of Justice, they look at all these documents and all the names on these
Yeah.
documents. You're like, phew,
Yeah.
all the biggest CEOs around
Right.
the country,
Yeah. I mean,
all these foreign governments,
Yep.
leaders and stuff. And they're like, well, this could crash our economy. People don't
yeah.
and screw
Cause
up foreign
riots.
relations.
It could do a lot of
Um,
things.
Maybe we should just sweep this under the rug.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of those things where somebody had to literally say to a room full of people, for the betterment of humanity,
Yeah.
it's shut down, it's gone, and privately we'll annihilate these people without anybody knowing it, whether they hack them and bank shit or whatever stuff. I can't believe that they're just going to get away with it.
Or Here's another theory.
Yeah.
All right, my harebrained theories.
Yeah.
The CIA
Is behind the whole thing.
is behind the whole thing.
I get it.
Look, I have nothing to back this up at
No,
all.
of course. And
Let
then,
me be upfront
Yeah.
about saying that. But I'm saying, what if they said we can no longer blackmail these people,
Right.
or I have power over these people
right.
if we release this list and
Right.
everybody gets in trouble?
yeah. That, I mean,
I
that,
don't know.
I'm not going to lie. Kind of more plausible than Pam Bondi's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about the fact that it's basically documented that the CIA funded the crack epidemic in LA, like that's we did a lot of bad shit. And I'm not saying it happened like you.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I mean, and if you think about why would they do that in the first place? Like you said, they can go to the king of wherever and go, listen, we need you to stop doing this. I'm not stopping. Well, look at this
Yeah.
video here of you banging a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Sure you don't want to talk about this?
Yeah.
Is that above the CIA? No.
Of course not.
So you're right. I mean, there's some weird
But
stuff
you know,
about
we
it.
the people want justice, though. I don't care.
I get
Let
it.
those companies burn.
Yeah, I'm with you. But we're never going to see it.
You're
we're-
right. It's gone. I mean,
we
it's
might see it.
essentially disappeared.
We'll see it in 100 years when everybody.
Maybe.
When
Still
everybody.
haven't seen those JFK files.
Yeah, we kind of have. And I'll explain that one at another time. I don't want to put Chris through this. My horrible JFK assassination
Yeah.
theory.
All right. We'll
But
do
I'm
a whole
curious.
show on that. Yeah,
Here it is
yeah.
in a nutshell.
All right,
At
let's
least.
hear it.
I'll do it in
all right.
60 seconds. I firmly believe that the CIA, without a doubt, was trying to oust Castro,
Okay.
without a doubt. I think that the Italians had a lot of. I'm talking about the mob, not Italian Americans, true Italians, not them. I'm talking about the horseshit Italians, the disgraceful Italians that were in the mob, owned those casinos, and they were trying to keep Castro, get him out right away, put what's his name back, keep business as usual. They lost millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I think the CIA stepped in and said, look, we want to kill Castro. We want to do, and I think Kennedy stepped in and said, no, I'm not assassinating a foreign leader in that way. And I think there was a huge backlash, and the CIA was probably in cahoots with the mafia, and they took him out. I mean, do I think that some dumb Italian fat slob sitting in the grassy knoll with a rifle? No, I think CIA sharpshooters and stuff did it.
Yeah.
But I think the ground level, I think Jack Ruby is proof that the mafia was in it. I mean, he was a known associate.
Yeah.
You know, and there were other guys around the country, Sam Giancana, Marcello in Louisiana. I mean, if you really study the case, it kind of opens up to what really happened.
Well, we got to do a whole show. Now we have to do a
JFK conspiracy.
JFK show.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We've got our
I have an
Egypt show.
expert on it, by the way.
We have to do an Egyptian show.
Yeah, we
and
got
then
a
we
lot
have
of
to do what was the other one?
How that Christopher Schaefer can be the greatest male clothing designer I know
Oh.
and be
I
heterosexual
like
and
it.
have children.
Yes.
You are proof that it works.
It does.
Well, something cool now for many travelers is that the TSA supposedly has ended taking off shoes at some
Oh,
airports.
Yeah, Brett,
Great.
thank God.
After nearly 2 decades, taking off shoes is now a thing of the past at some U.S. airports, although some people are saying that they're still getting checked. But multiple news sources say the TSA has sent an internal memo to security officers about testing the new policy in a soft launch at security checkpoints. One of those is BWI Airport here, where we're located.
Yeah.
New York's LaGuardia, LAX, Philadelphia, and Fort Lauderdale International Airports. The rule was put back in place in 2006 when Richard Reed, known as the Shoe Bomber. Do you know the
T-Rex.
story about this guy?
Oh, I know the whole story. He looked just like T-Rex at the time. Remember the comedian?
I got a picture of him.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him up here.
Yeah, I remember him. Long curly hair. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that dude.
So this guy, he was born in London, England. He was a British Islamist militant who gained notoriety as the so-called Shoe Bomber. He was scheduled to leave on December 21st, 2001, but his cash purchase of the plane ticket, his agitated state, and the absence of luggage triggered an extensive security check at the airport. He missed the flight, but then he went to an internet cafe and sent an email to somebody in Pakistan asking for advice, and his correspondent instructed him to try again. The next day, he boarded American Airlines Flight 63, and about 90 minutes into the flight, a flight attendant smelled sulfur and realized that Reed had lit a match and she made him put it out. And then when she intervened, he attacked her, and they held him down. There was a doctor on board who stuck him with a sedative.
Really?
And they arrested him when the plane was redirected to Boston. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Holy crap! I mean, that's just
Look at these shoes, man. I mean, guy had explosive stuff in the bottom of his high tops.
dude. I remember this
Sure.
story. I was on the morning show. What year was this?
2001.
01. No, I was doing nights.
Yeah.
That was 01?
Yeah.
They said 2 decades.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that was so long. Yeah, I guess it was. That's pretty wild, man.
Here's a crazy story, man. I don't know if you heard about this Australian woman. She's been found guilty of murder, and the weapon of choice was poisonous mushrooms. Did you hear about this story?
Tell
I
me more
did, yeah.
about this evil bitch.
Yeah.
What'd
This
she do?
This is wild. So after a 10-week trial, a jury found 50-year-old and mother of two, Erin Patterson, guilty of killing 3 relatives and trying to kill a 4th by serving beef Wellington laced with deadly death cap mushrooms. This was at a 2023 family lunch. So all 4 guests were hospitalized with gastrointestinal symptoms. And the 3 of them died the following week from altered liver function and multiple organ failure due to mushroom poisoning. The 2 couples started to feel sick that night. They experienced episodes of vomiting and diarrhea, and the patients weren't immediately given the antidote, which they could have done had they known they had been poisoned with mushrooms, but there wasn't enough evidence to confirm they'd ingested these mushrooms. They had no idea. But despite receiving other forms of treatment, including an emergency liver transplant,
Oh my
and
Lord.
in one case, their conditions continued to deteriorate, but there was a sole survivor, and he recovered after weeks in intensive care, went on to testify at Patterson's trial in Victoria State. This is her right here. And the main question the jury faced was, did Patterson knowingly put death cap mushrooms in the dish with the intention of killing her guests? She initially called it a terrible accident, but prosecutors showed she prepared the toxic dish, ditched a food dehydrator with her fingerprints, and lied about also falling ill. She had made each one of her guests their own individual beef Wellington pastry and served herself on a plate that was a different size and color from the other 4. That quirk was observed not only by Wilkinson, but by his late wife, Heather,
Yeah.
who mentioned it to Simon Patterson when he took her to the hospital the following day. And she's now facing life in prison with sentencing to be set later. The bizarre case has drawn global media and podcast attention.
Wow. Hey, by the way, I want to mention we are on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, every audio streaming. And Matt just checked into the Rumble page.
Yeah.
Bunch of people watching, talking about it. Want to say hello to everybody. Some guy, as soon as we started talking about this guy, he writes, no shirt, no shoes.
No dice.
Right. It's just such a great line.
Oh man.
But yeah, this Rumble crowd has been unbelievable to Matt and I.
Yeah.
It just
Cool.
embraced us. Matt, I lost it, but I got basically a comment from a lady in Australia
Yeah.
that listens, and she loves us, and she was very complimentary of me.
Really?
Yeah. And
Was
now-
it like the middle of the night in Australia?
I
now?
would have. What are they? 12 or no? They're more.
24, whether
Like 22 or
22
something.
hours, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, she's watching this.
I love it.
Freaking 5 in the
What's
morning.
her name?
You're gonna. I'll find it
You gonna
before the
butcher
end
it?
of the show. No, I'll
Oh,
find
okay.
it before. I don't know if she's on here now, because I got to go back and read her name.
Well, shout out Australia.
Yeah, and
She doesn't make beef Wellington, does she?
Yeah, exactly. That's what made
Different
me think
lady,
of her.
different lady,
Different
Chris.
lady. And this lady I'm talking about is very nice, Chris. You and your horrible ideas.
I'll serve it on a different size plate. No, no notice.
That'll throw them off. Yeah.
No, that one's mine.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys saw there was a T-Rex World Championship race over the weekend. Over 300 people participated. We got video of that right here. Can you see the T-Rexes racing?
I love this.
This year, over 300 participants put on their finest inflatable dinosaur costumes and made a run for Dino Glory. This year, Andrew Stuber was crowned the top male T-Rex racer. And there were 3 T-Rexes. Here we got the slow-mo here. There were 3 T-Rexes that jumped out of a plane to kick off the event. We're going to see video of that momentarily here. There they are. Here's the skydivers, skydiving T-Rexes, kicking everything off.
This is crazy.
Where was that?
This was in Washington State. And if you missed the whole thing, keep your eye on ESPN2 on their broadcast schedule, as the plan is to replay the event a little bit later this summer.
Yeah, it's dude, the first time I went to the state fair and I was watching horse racing, right? And
Yeah.
and you look to the left and you see the whole state fair there at Timonium, all the people. And I was like, man, I'd love to see people like in a funny way, like race around the track at the state fair.
You ever go to a Nationals game?
I've never been to a national.
Oh, yeah.
But they
with
do
the
the
presidents?
presidents.
I love it.
I've seen it
Yeah.
on TV. I love that.
You know,
man.
Hilarious.
I did an event with those guys one time, hosted this event for a hotel, actually, and it was a blast, man. We had an indoor race in the hotel with the presidents.
They're funny,
So much
yeah.
fun. Yeah. Does remind me of the T-Rexes.
Yeah, without a
stuff.
doubt, man.
Yeah,
Without
yeah,
a doubt.
yeah. So, Mick, we've been talking a lot about the robots here on the show lately, and they're here, man. And
Yeah.
there's a company that's building a robot butler right now. It's a German company called Neuro Robotics. They're making waves with a humanoid robot that supposedly can pour drinks, iron clothes, and maybe even make you a sandwich.
Listen, if anybody else can do it but the Chinese, it's the Germans. You ever
Yeah.
drove a German car?
Oh yeah, I've
It's-
been driving German cars for years.
They're
They're great.
They're the great. I don't care what anyone says. Germans are the most meticulous
Yeah.
builders I've ever seen in my life.
Well, look, they claim this robot will outperform any other robot on the market.
Yeah.
And this isn't about just flashy tricks, they say. Instead, it's being pitched as the world's first cognitive humanoid, meaning it can think and react more like a human. And they're serious. They have currently raised a staggering $1.2 billion to bring this fantastic futuristic helper to the market.
Chris, if I'm not being funny here, you know, your
You
brand,
sure?
well, your brand hits, and you know, whoever Macy's comes along and
Yes.
says, we're going to give you, you know, 500 million and buy your line, whatever. You buying one of them things if you got that kind of money? Say it costs $100,000. Would you have a robot?
A robot?
Butler?
Yeah.
I would. Chris, I'd take it a step further. We've been talking about it. I want a wife, like an AI wife.
They're out there.
Oh, dude, but I got to wait a little bit.
I don't know
'cause-
if they're perfected yet.
yeah,
Mick.
they still look a little,
Yeah.
but when they-
Honda's had that robot for a long time.
Yeah.
It's cool.
yeah, it's very cool. But like,
I would hate to see you get hurt, Mick. You know, those things freak out on you or something.
Let
A
me tell you something.
little malfunction.
I got news for you, bro.
Yeah.
Women have been beating the shit out of me my whole life. I don't mind a fake one doing it at this point. You know what I mean? I'm safe, dude.
Yeah,
I'm ready to give it a shot.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, man, there's a French town that had a.
I'm sorry. I just thought of a joke. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't-
No.
Like my friend asked me the other day, I didn't have an answer. He goes, what would a robot woman have that a regular woman wouldn't have? And I finally just thought of it. A mute button. Like you could just on the
Oh,
remote, you
God.
could just mute it. If you know what I mean? Like I think any guy that's honest and any woman, think about it. If you could just mute your partner when you feel like it, like let them still be them, but you just let me turn this off for a while. Couldn't hear you. Right? I think that's what it would be. The mute button is what's selling me.
I think a lot of women already think that we have a mute button because
Oh, we do.
we have
Selective
selective
hearing.
Yeah,
hearing.
we have very slow. But imagine if you just literally, because we can still hear it. We're just not paying attention. But imagine if it just like in the middle of her going, hey, tomorrow I need, and it's just over. Like you just, no, I'm not listening. I'm not listening right now. That would be better. Even if my robot didn't have sex, it just got quiet every now and then. That would be a great start to a relationship. I think communication ruins
you're
relationships.
gonna love the future, man.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this French town was attacked by bees. 24 people injured. Quiet Sunday in the central French town of Aurillac turned chaotic when a swarm of bees raged through downtown for 30 minutes. 24
Wow.
people were stung, and 3, including a 78-year-old who went into cardiac arrest,
Ooh.
were listed as critical before stabilizing. Firefighters, paramedics, and police rushed in, setting up a safety cordon while treating victims right on the street. And officials say they think that Asian hornets likely disturbed a long-established hive on a hotel roof, triggering this mass attack. The hive has since been removed and placed far outside of town, and the fire chief called the scale of injuries unprecedented for the area.
Wow.
The mayor urged residents to stay alert until experts confirm no other agitated colonies remain nearby.
Question for you, and I don't know. I know bees are very important to the environment. I mean, we all know that. But do they attack in the animal kingdom like this? Like, do they hit an elk?
Don't most of them only attack if they're like protecting the queen or they're being attacked?
Well, they attacked yesterday. Nobody fucked with the queen. Like, what happened?
Well, yeah, they were. I guess you're right, but I guess they were agitated. They think by
right. So I'm saying, like, if an animal gets too close to a hive, do all of them come in and just start stinging the hell out of the
wasps do. Wasps attack.
I had that happen once.
Oh my god! Did you really?
Oh my god! They were chasing me and stinging me.
Oh my god!
I've had the
It looked
same
like
thing.
it looked like something out of a cartoon.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, how did that happen with you?
So there was a nest, and it was up on the side of my shed.
Yeah.
And I started spraying it with some stuff, but I didn't have the stuff that sprays 27
Yeah, you didn't
feet,
have
which
the
I have
jets.
now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I sprayed it, and they came out and started chasing me. And my one son was there, and he saw me running, getting stung. And I told him, I said, I hope you never forget that in your life, because that must have been hilarious.
Oh
Oh
my
my god!
I was repairing a deck for a guy, and I popped up a couple boards, and there was a wasp nest
There you go.
attached. Oh my God, they came flying out. I took off the deck, and he had a pool, and I dove right in it, fully clothed.
Yeah,
I
good
dove
move.
in the pool.
Sure.
And they calmed down in about 5 minutes, and they all went back towards the hive.
Shoot.
And then I set that I burned the shit. I killed every one of them bees. There wasn't a bee left. And I used hairspray and a lighter.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And as they're coming at me, I'm like, Aquanet. I took out a hornet nest, whatever it was, with Aquanet
Aquanet.
and a big
Lighter.
lighter. Yeah.
That's
I'm
great,
as
man.
white trash as they get, bro. For
tell
real.
tell me what you think of this idea, because I love this. Wegmans is they're kicking out their new smart carts, which kind of let you skip the checkout line. The New England-based grocery chain is testing out Instacart's AI-powered Caper carts in select New York locations. So these smart carts let you scan items, track spending, and even pay right in front of the cart, meaning no more checkout lines. They say shoppers can log into their loyalty accounts, start bagging as they go, and watch their total in real time. It's all part of a pilot to see if these high-tech carts fit Wegmans' signature shopping style. And if successful, they might be rolling into more stores soon.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a very foo-foo guy, like in any area of my life. Like I'll take a Dunkin' Donuts coffee over Starbucks any day of the week. You know, I'll buy t-shirts from Walmart. Like I don't care. But I will tell you this much, man. When you start getting to that kind of level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing anymore as a society? Because you're watching 20 people get fired. You know they're going to get rid of 20 people, right? Not only that, you think everybody's going to ring everything up?
No, they don't know.
They don't now. Let me tell you something, Wawa. I didn't mean to, but I've beaten you a couple times just because I realized I got outside. I'm like,
How dare you?
it was 6 things. I scanned 5, and just the other one was I've gone back in like.
Was one of them a pretzel? Their pretzels are
No,
good.
one of them was 7 cases of 7-Up. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
But no, like I think there's honest, misses. I think I get it too though, but we're gonna have to decide. I
They've
think.
been talking about that for a while though.
Oh,
about
yeah.
having those carts like that. Where you can,
Well, I love it because, if you're on the budget, you're walking around putting stuff in the cart, and you know what you're tallying as you go.
Well, that's
with
a
the
good
tax
thing.
and everything.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to wait in line. Half the time, even the self checkout, you're waiting in this long line to pull up the one. You can just do it all right in your cart and roll out.
They're saying once the robots are really in place,
the
they're
German ones.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
right. There's gonna be an app. You go on, you order all your groceries, you
Yeah.
pull up to the store, the robot puts it in your trunk, and you drive away. You don't even have to go in them anymore.
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to go to the grocery store anymore, though. They'll
Yeah, but they
drone
charge
it to your house.
Well, but then they're charging you a ridiculous amount,
yeah.
But like they're saying that basically these
Robot shoppers.
robot shoppers, dude, they know where everything is.
Makes
it's
sense.
all QR coded. in
Yeah.
the bag.
Just like the Jetsons.
Yeah, you pull up an hour later and your bags are ready and it's put in your car.
It's gonna be an awful margin of error for about a year or two, though.
You
People are
think?
gonna get wrong stuff, and oh my
That's gonna
god, I didn't
happen.
order this. and
Yeah.
it's the wrong one.
Yeah.
and, you know.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah,
They'll figure it out.
eventually.
I'm sure the first car wasn't an easy ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure the Dodge brothers had a couple of rough days in that original model,
Yeah.
you know, when they're building stuff.
Well, I don't know if you guys are planning on getting any work done, but scientists are saying that Brazilian butt lifts can make your butt stink. So be careful, boys. The Brazilian butt lift, aka the BBL.
The BBL, I've had 5 BBLs.
five
You ever see
BBL.
that video?
No,
I've had 5 BBLs, 3 boob jobs. I got $150,000 invested in my body. And the guy goes, so what is your value to a man? And she goes, I got 5 BBLs, 3 boobs. He goes, yeah, so does 100
what is the
other women.
benefit of 5 BBLs?
I don't know. She had a gigantic ass. Like, I don't
Oh my
even
God.
get it. Like, I like a nice ass. Like, who doesn't, right? But when it gets to the point where it's like, really? Like, really? You can carry things back there. Like, what are you doing? That's when I draw the line. I'm just
Draw
saying.
it at 4 BBLs.
3.
and
My
you're out.
limit's 3. I don't know.
So the Brazilian butt lift surgery is a procedure that enhances the size and shape of someone's butt through a fat transfer. That, if people don't know, it's often considered a dangerous procedure by experts since there's a possibility of death,
Yeah, of course.
infection,
Wow.
and more.
Yeah.
Not only is a BBL surgery risky, but there's one bizarre, rather gross side effect that comes with it that might make potential patients reconsider getting it done. One of the doctors says the BBL smell is real. This is a guy who does it in Chicago. He says this unexpected side effect is often described as a musty or sour smell,
Mhm.
according to South Shore Plastic Surgery.
Maybe it's just the lady getting these BBS, you know, and maybe the problem existed beforehand.
Well, the team of experts said the smell is often expected for BBL patients after sweating or sitting for long periods, but there are a variety of other factors like tissue death.
Oh God,
Yeah.
stop, Matt.
Yeah, which
You're
is a
ruining
BBL
women's
complication.
asses for me. I didn't even think
Oh.
it was possible.
It's an unhygienic habit that could also cause it, and to have a smelly behind, according to this doctor. If a patient was overfilled with fat during the procedure, fat necrosis, which is when fatty tissue in the butt dies, can occur. As a result, a rancid smell can develop.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I mean, does anybody's butt really smell like roses anyway, Mick?
Mine. Because
Yeah,
I rub
does it?
roses all over
Yes,
it.
of
No.
course.
The truth of the matter is, Matt, that you know, I don't understand. I want to say this to women, but it's not my place, I guess. But I'm saying it because
Just
I'm
say
a
it.
dick. I've never been attracted to a woman because she got work done.
No,
Never.
the opposite has occurred, actually.
Yeah, I find natural women
Yeah.
to just be the most beautiful, sexy things. When these women start shooting shit in their face and their lips and their ass, yeah, I understand a boob job on a woman. I do. Yeah, and it doesn't matter to me, but I understand how a woman could make her feel a little more confident. And it's hard for women. But God, with all this face shit and the BBLs and stop it. You know what I mean? Stop it. Just I don't know one guy that goes, oh, I would have sex with her if she got a fake ass. Like, what are you talking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even. I don't know what these women are thinking. I really don't.
I mean, it's the pressure from other women mostly, I
Sure,
think,
yeah.
you know? Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
Kardashian thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Instead of getting them BBLs, you should get a mute button and stuff.
It's not men.
It's
Mick needs a
I'm
mute
s-
button.
I am such an asshole.
You are
there's
never
no
going to be married
wonder-
again, are you, man?
Never. I'm not even going to get a girlfriend again. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're
thinking-
going to need the robot. The robot's going to be good for you. I can see it now.
Listen,
You
because
changed my
Chris is
mind.
here and he's a gentleman
Yeah.
and he deals with gentlemen every day,
Right.
I'm going to clean this and end this bit. But I will say this. I am at a point in my life where I'm telling you, peace and quiet is at the top of the list, man.
It's priceless. Yeah.
It is unbelievably healthy. If you can be even around people, everybody just quiet for a little while.
Got to get yourself a little meditation room, man.
I like people though. I just don't like people talking all the time.
Yeah. So what, you just want to sit with people in peace and
Like,
quiet.
I remember when I was a kid, and maybe this just times have changed and I'm an old man now, but I remember, like, you would watch TV at night and you would watch the show
together.
And then, like, if you talked, it was during the commercial or after the show, not the whole fucking show. Like, I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Yeah.
Like, can I turn this off and listen to you? Like, and then they'll get mad, like, oh my God, I can't even talk. No, you can talk. In fact, that's all you do is talk. Like, let's try to stop it for a little bit. I'm going back 30 years of my life, by the way.
Yeah.
There was 2 ladies I've been with that knew just it was nice to just sit and men, I don't care. Men don't back me up on this because they're afraid of women. And I realize I'm never going to be with one again, so I'm no longer afraid. But I will say there's a lot of sexiness and quiet. I'm just saying. Matt, you're married, you don't want your wife to think badly. Chris, you're married, you don't want every man knows. Every man knows I'm telling the truth. Every now and then, nobody ever broke up.
You don't think your wife gets sick of your mouth?
I don't talk that much outside.
Oh, come on.
At home, I am telling you.
The show is called Mickey Talks, Chris.
The show is.
The show. Yeah.
My living room is called Mickey Shuts the Fuck Up for a little while. You know what I mean? That's what my living room's called. I talk for a living.
Okay.
And I get so, like, and everybody talks to me for a living.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have an off switch.
I just need that switch to go, hey, I love you. I hear everything you're saying.
No, I get that, man.
But
Because
just shut up for 10 minutes.
yeah, when I would be coming home from like DJ events, especially, it's loud in there. You're talking to a billion
that car
people.
ride home.
The car ride home is silent.
It's incredible. I don't
There's
even
no
turn the
music
radio.
on, right?
Me too, man.
Yeah.
People, I'm telling you, that's the next big sexy thing.
Yeah.
Girls they're not gonna get BBLs. They're not gonna get fake boobs. They're gonna get these little piercings that just clip their lips shut. And guys get clip. And for like 10 minutes. And we just go, okay, unclip that. Thank you for those 10 minutes. And I'm sure they'll make them for men too. Because there are men that never at home just talk. And I hear women go, God, he never stopped to complain. Like, I get it. It's just people. It's not I can only speak of it from the people I've lived with. I've never lived intimately with a guy. Tell you what, I'm getting ready to maybe give it a shot now after I think this through a little bit more, Chris. I know there's some validity in what I'm saying. I also know that I speak like a pirate. I'm not very elegant with my words, but I think people would be amazed at the mental health rewards of quiet time. Just to say,
I agree with you, man. Do you meditate?
I don't know how.
You don't know how?
Because here's what happens. I've tried it many times.
Yeah.
My mind, just because of the OCD and the ADD and the ADHD and the ABCDEFG, I mean, I got everything you can have. My mind just goes
right
all day.
And everybody's mind does. You're never going to shut that off.
Right.
That's not the point
So
of it.
what I'm trying to learn how to do is to just get peaceful without 900 thoughts going through my head.
Right.
I don't know how to get to that point where you're just, I have to watch something.
There are some forms of meditation that supposedly say you're going to stop your thoughts, but I don't think that's even possible for a human being.
I don't mean stop thoughts. I don't want to sit there in a coma.
The goal of it,
Right.
the goal of it is to observe your thoughts and to kind of be outside of your thoughts, recognizing the flow.
I can't even take you serious right now.
I'm telling you,
Listen,
it's for real. Yeah.
Okay, listen, both of you senseis. Let me tell you both something.
I'll teach you how to meditate.
If you could do that, Matt, it
Yeah.
would mean the world to me. But I'll tell you what, lately I've been just saying, like, I'm gonna spend some time alone. I'm just laying in my bed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play on my phone. I'm gonna watch the computer. I'm gonna watch TV. I'm gonna eat some ice, and it's quiet, man. And if that's the thing, I think if I don't mind the sound of something.
Yeah.
I mind the required response.
No, I see the value in what you're saying.
That's
for sure.
all. And I'm
Yeah.
not attacking women. I adore and love women. They just talk sometimes a little too much. I don't think that's out of line. You know I'm right. And I don't expect you to jump on the board, but you very rarely hear a guy ever say, I just wish my wife would talk to me more. You don't hear that. And there's a reason. Moving on.
That's the facts matter. Actually. That's
You
a weird.
son of
That's
a
a
bitch.
really awkward ending
That's
to
you,
that's the
because I
facts
didn't know it
matter.
was the last story. You got me. You made me look like a dick. Good for you. I was being a dick.
It's very awkward.
We are here with Christopher Schaefer,
Thank you.
ChristopherSchaefer.com. In my eyes, the best suit maker in Baltimore. I don't
Thank
know
you.
anything outside of here, so I can only go with what I know. You've made me a suit in the past. My son destroyed it. It was one of the greatest things I've ever had. And you have a wonderful benefit for your charity that provides. I love that. Explain it again. What you guys actually
Sure.
do.
So we recycle suits to dress guys for job interviews and beyond. So
That really can't afford a decent suit.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And we get some really nice stuff.
I bet.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we, it's amazing what people give away, and then because someone maybe gained weight, lost weight,
Sure.
passed away.
No.
Yeah,
any,
anything
of those,
can happen.
Any of those things, and
Yeah.
so then you take the clothes that someone didn't need and you give them to someone who does.
Yeah.
And it's pretty powerful stuff to see guys who
Oh my
hadn't
God.
been in suits in a long time, and then we've had guys come to us, get suits and that they get married in and everything like
Of
that.
course.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool stuff. Hey, you know what I wanted to ask you about too? You're
Sure.
a drummer too,
Yes.
so you've been playing.
I haven't played a lot lately.
I saw a video of you playing one time. I was like, you can hold it down.
I can, I can put
Yeah.
4 on the floor and stay in it, but I love playing.
That's good for the mind.
Oh yeah.
that's good for the mind. Yeah.
I am about 6 months of success on this show away from buying a drum kit again
Good for you.
and having it. I want to buy an electronic one though, so
That's
I can
what I
play
want.
it whenever
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
But the acoustic thing is the best. I agree with you.
That's the thing is so at my shop, I have a garage on the back of it,
You got drums in there?
a 1,500 square foot garage with hot rods, and
A
you got to
drum
come
kit.
to it's
Oh, dude.
badass. I have a stage. I have a
Did we just become best friends?
yeah. You got to come down and check it. And I've
You want to
had-
do karate in the
Yeah.
garage?
yeah. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
Hell yeah. I'm definitely taking you up on that, brother.
Yeah, I have a 68 Ludwig psychedelic red set I've had since I was like 15, and it's like the Ringo kit,
Yeah.
but in color.
Oh my
It's
God.
gorgeous. Yeah, I've had
You
it
got the
for
snare?
no.
the
I
original?
have a Baltimore drum snare,
Yeah.
a piccolo.
Can't
that's
go wrong
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing cracks. It's
Keith and his people are incredible
it's
over
a
there.
great sounding snare.
Chris, listen, we do one other thing on the show called Matt's Music Minute. We want you to stick here. We're almost done.
Okay,
You're doing an amazing job, by
Thank
the way.
you.
You've been a fun guest.
I'm having
man.
fun. Yeah.
Good for you. You're going to come back, I hope.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely
cool.
done. Don't bring Quinlan. I'm kidding, of course.
Thanks, Mike.
Let's do it right now. Brought to us by Natalie's Seafood Kitchen. We will be there live Friday, as we are every Friday at 5 p.m. We start our show. Natalie's Seafood Kitchen, right in the heart of Falston. I believe it's 2315 Bel Air Road, right in the shopping center next to Horizon Movie Theater. You know it well if you know the area. This restaurant and tiki bar is world class.
It's like being in the Caribbean, man.
dude, it's unreal if you haven't
Yeah.
been there. And we're not overselling it. It's amazing.
And the seafood tastes like you're sitting in the Caribbean.
Dude,
you know?
it's incredible.
Yeah.
I've had 5 entrees. I cannot name another restaurant where I could eat 5 entrees any night and not have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's unreal. So go see Natalie's. By the way, we got another guy, I think we'll know tomorrow for sure, coming on board from up that way that has seen a lot of things that we're doing and is on board, and another great place I can't wait to talk
man.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot going on. Here it is, the most uninteresting moment in music. Man, I'm kidding, buddy.
What?
You said today it's all like sad stuff, right?
It's not sad. No, it's
Okay.
not sad. It's
All
just we're just kind of recapping our weekend.
I got you. All right,
Yeah,
here
yeah.
it is. It is my favorite part of the show, though. Matt's Music Minute. What do we got, buddy?
Yes, we talked a lot about the musical events that took place over the weekend. Oasis, of course, kicked off their tour, and then the farewell show for Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and
Yeah.
they kind of did the numbers.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people there and listening online. A concert drawing 40,000 fans, pretty impressive. But
For a 75-year-old
Yeah.
metalhead,
yeah.
that's
That was
wild.
quite a lineup they had. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's got to be the greatest metal lineup ever. But a worldwide audience of over 5 million shows that Ozzy Osbourne is a
Wow.
true legend.
Yeah.
What it cost to watch?
It was $30,
30 bucks,
and
yeah.
they did it all for charity. You know, they raised
100
a lot of money. Yeah.
$150 million for charity.
Yeah,
Woo.
according to the Guardian, Black Sabbath's farewell concert over the weekend reportedly drew that tons of viewers to the live stream, and the event was more than just a grand exit for the band. The profits from the show will be shared equally between charities Cure Parkinson's, Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Acorns Children Hospice as well. So all just amazing charities.
Now, when you talk about charity work, you know, and somebody raises $1 million for a charity, you go, wow.
Yeah.
Somebody raises 50 million. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where you're building a wing and shit. Like,
Sure.
congrats to them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Ozzy, I grew up a punk new wave kid, really came out of classic rock and and I missed Black Sabbath. Like I told
See,
you,
I
this.
was right in the middle
Yeah,
of that when I was a
man.
kid.
Were
man.
you too? Did you
Yeah.
dig it?
I have older brothers, so it's like the first Black
Yeah, I was
Sabbath
the
record
oldest,
is
right.
like that is so
Yeah.
good.
I mean, that
Oh,
was the
man.
beginning of heavy metal, man. I mean, you
the
know,
Wizard, the harmonica, and
Yeah.
so good,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
Is that the one that goes bow now now?
Yeah.
Bow, bow, bow. What a phenomenon! Like, don't get me wrong, I understood Black Sabbath later in life,
Sure.
but when I was young, it was dark and demonic, and
Yeah.
I was a Catholic altar boy. Like they were the
Ah,
devil.
yeah.
You know. So, but I just think Ozzy's one of the most fascinating entertainers of the century,
It
man.
was cool. We had the whole band together too.
Oh, incredible!
Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
that was cool to
and,
see.
and you know the all-star tributes that they did that day, everybody doing Sabbath
Dude,
songs.
when you get
was incredible.
Metallica, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses down the
The
list,
members of the Stones,
the Stones,
I mean,
Ronnie
yeah.
Wood, Slash, and Steven Tyler
Yeah.
on stage together.
Yep.
Like, are
Yeah,
you
that's
kidding me?
cool.
Yeah.
Like, for one guy,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Well, you know, he ushered in a genre of music, really.
Everybody idolizes
You know?
him, right?
Sure.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So the Ozzy biopic is in the works, they're saying. Ozzy Osbourne may have officially retired from performing live this past weekend, but the Prince of Darkness already has his next project lined up with a biopic of his incredible life. It's already in development. Just before Ozzy and his legendary band Black Sabbath played their final gig, his son Jack Osbourne dished out some details about the movie to The Sun. They say, we have a director attached now and the script is done. And Sony Studios is going to be producing it, Jack told the paper. It's about to go through a script rewrite. And according to Jack, the biopic will tell the true story of his 76-year-old dad, warts and all. He
Yeah.
says it's going to be raw. We're not going to pull any punches, and we're really going to just lay it all out there. Production on the film is set for next year, with Jack adding, if the evil overlords of Hollywood give us the green light, we could be filming in the spring, so it could be out by summer of 2027.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this question, though, because I don't know. Was Ozzy like a womanizer? Like, I never heard that about him. I don't even know. Like, are there stories about Ozzy with groupies and stuff?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he and Sharon went through a rough period.
Where he was with
Yeah,
girls?
where he was
Okay.
unfaithful.
Yeah, I didn't
But,
know.
Yeah.
Because it is a cool, like the last 20 years of watching Ozzy. Granted, he was in his 50s when we started,
Yeah.
but he was a happily married.
And mostly most of that is just drug issues.
Yeah,
you know what
drug
I mean?
and alcohol.
Substance abuse.
Yeah. That's sad, man. But
Yeah.
what a guy. You
For
know,
sure.
what a talent,
Yeah.
man.
And,
Without a doubt.
Sharon Osbourne has this reputation of, just wringing all the money out of it that she could, but they gave a ton of money to charity. All that
listen.
money to charity. They could have scooped all that up for one last hurrah.
I
you
would
know?
kill to meet a woman like Sharon Osbourne
Yeah.
and make me 200 million by pimping me out to wherever. If she had the brains and I just had to
Yeah.
go be funny, are you shitting me? I don't care what you sell me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on a Cracker Jack box.
Well, she
if
learned from
they-
her dad, who
was
was
brilliant.
Sabbath's manager
Yeah.
originally.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Learn from dad. So Axl Rose apparently had never met Ozzy. That was his first time he met Ozzy.
Wow.
It was this past weekend. Rose posted on his social media, "Wow, what an event. Extremely overwhelming, really great crowd, was very emotional for everyone. Met Ozzy. Crazy we'd never met before. He was really great. Was great to meet Sabbath." And then, he met Ozzy's family. And then Ozzy even posted something. He was like pumped to meet Axl Rose. He
I
said,
get it. Yeah.
"My first time meeting Axl Rose. At my age, you don't get to meet many legends. Seriously, an utter gentleman." I got the picture here.
Of those two.
Yeah, this is the very first time they ever met.
Wow, look at that. Looks like Ozzy's meeting Kathy Griffin. Who the hell is that's Axel?
Yeah, Axl. Kathy Griffin. It's funny though that they've both been in the industry that long, but they've never met. Like I met Ozzy twice.
Yeah.
He's never met Ozzy.
Right.
How,
I mean, but
how
you
does that
think
happen?
about it. How often would him and him be in the same building?
Well, you're right. They're from two different continents. Well, he did live in the
They
States
toured
for a long
together or
time.
something.
Yeah,
But did they
right.
ever
I mean,
tour?
a festival or something where
They
they
just
would,
probably never played together.
I guess so. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought they were both in
Unbelievable.
Los Angeles for a long time.
I mean, think about it. Like me, I've done comedy for 40 years, right?
Holy moly.
I never met Richard Pryor.
Well, that's true.
You think he said the same thing? I never met Mickey.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, never got to meet the legend.
No, it is weird though. You're right. When you think about that, like two icons.
Yeah.
Because really, to me, I'll go on record and people will argue with me about this. To me, Guns N' Roses is the greatest American hard rock band over Aerosmith
I mean, it's amazing what they accomplished
in two albums.
If you're
dude.
really being
in
honest,
two albums.
on one album.
Yeah,
That's
on
what I
one,
was going to
really.
You know?
say.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
That second album, though, I mean, not second, but Use Your Illusion. I mean, there was some.
There's some songs
Quality.
on there, but let's
I mean,
be real.
November
You
Rain,
know what
dude.
that album was, though?
Yeah, it
that
was
was all the stuff they
stuff
cut
before.
from the first
Right.
album.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
that first Velvet Revolver record should have been the Guns N' Roses record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would have changed everything because
Yeah.
that was a solid record.
Yeah.
for sure.
That
Yeah.
was a solid record.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan. I'm not the biggest Axl fan, personally.
Yeah.
As an entertainer and singer, I find the guy to be incredible.
Oh, yeah. He's an incredible
And,
frontman.
and Slash,
He's
I mean,
had so many cool projects.
dude,
too.
I put him up with the Eddies, with the Jeff Becks, with the Jimmy Pages.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if you're a young American guitar player, that's your guy, man.
Yeah,
If you want to
the
be a rock
tone is
guy,
perfect.
The
I mean,
tone-
yeah.
for
Doesn't even
that
know how to read music, man.
dude, he didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Have you read his book?
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yep.
I loved it, man. Great book.
And what a cool guy, man.
Oh, I interviewed him at 90
yeah,
Rock.
yeah. I've met him a few times, and he's just a down to earth, cool guy that will hang out with you and talk to you for 20 minutes.
Dude, I asked him one time, well, the one time I talked to him, I was
Yeah.
like, Slash, I'm going to ask you a question that I guess every, younger, the less famous musician wants to know.
Yeah.
What's it like standing on a stage and say in front of 100,000 people playing guitar? And he goes, it's like standing in your bedroom in front of no one playing a guitar, except there's 100,000 people staring at you.
It's a good
And
answer.
then he went like this. He went, it's the most unbelievable feeling to hear that kind of, like, you don't hear that applause, you feel it. Like,
Sure.
it
Yeah.
resonates in your body. And I mean, I was on stage at the Preakness Infield with about 80,000 people that were kind of paying attention. And it's unreal, man. It's like, I can't relate to Slash,
It's a
obviously,
lot of people.
Yeah.
but it's like, whoa, it is overwhelming, man.
Yeah.
And then to do that for 20 years, and then people go, why are the Stones still doing it? They don't need the money. Well, it's right up there with getting laid. It's one of the best feelings on the planet, man. It's incredible.
Sure.
You've played where you've
Sure.
had great shows and you're
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, is there
Super
any?
fun.
Yeah, there's nothing
So
better.
there's no quitting. It's too much fun.
100%. All right, that is Matt's Music Minute. Good job, buddy. Chris,
Yes.
I want to tell you, like, I am a fan of your work.
Thank you.
I'm also a fan of you. I think I root for you every time I see you online or you're doing something.
Thanks.
And
man.
I apologize for taking 2 weeks to get this to happen.
I'm glad I'm here, man.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
And you are, listen, you got your charity, whatever. You guys got things coming up. Call me.
Right on.
Green light, brother. Come in
Cool.
anytime you want to promote it. I'm coming to play drums too, whether you like it or not.
You should come down. It's
Matt, you play, right? Don't you play
Yeah,
drums?
I'm okay. I can keep somewhat of a beat. I haven't
Nice.
played in so long.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah. But I would love to start playing again. I would love, like you, I would love to get a
Yeah.
electronic kit.
Go down with me, and you'll make me look a little better than I am, and then
Right.
Chris will make us both look like peasants,
Exactly.
and we'll be glad that we're there.
Ah, you know-
it's fun.
We gotta form like a little Blue Man group, I think is what we need to do.
All
You know?
drummers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All drummers dressed very well. How
Oh,
about
yeah,
that?
I love
yeah.
it. That's our thing, man. It'll be nice suits.
Yep.
I like that.
You
I've
know-
always wanted to start a percussion group, man.
I couldn't do it.
We did
No.
that at one of the variety shows. We did that. We
All
had
percussion,
all percussion.
Wow.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool
it
as
was
hell.
really fun.
Love
yeah.
very tribal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's like I had 2 drum sets going on, and all the rest was percussion stuff,
Ah.
and it was
I love that.
That
man.
was really
I
Did you
love
guys
that.
like switch around?
Yeah.
See, I would have been in
When you got
heaven.
2 kits, then you can.
Yeah.
One person gets up, another person gets on, and
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go play the bongos for a little
Yeah.
while or something.
We've
Yeah.
had, I tell you, we've had some good, we've had some really good music at the variety show. It's like, there's I don't know if you listen to any jazz stuff, but there's a guy named Brandon Woody that's from Baltimore.
Oh,
that's
really?
blowing up right now. He got signed to Blue Note.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, he just played Hollywood Bowl. He's playing the, he's like, but he played in my garage.
What's
6
he
months
play?
ago.
Wow.
Trumpet.
Dude, I met him.
Yeah, he
This
was.
guy walked up to me at Lunacy.
Yeah,
Is he a black guy?
yeah.
And he's literally got a trumpet case. And he goes, hey, you think I could get up and play it? You ain't going to believe me, but I'm a world-class jazz player. You can look me up.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I don't have to look you up. And they couldn't make it happen
Yeah.
or for whatever reason. I can't believe that.
Oh
though.
my
Yeah.
God. So you didn't let him play?
It wasn't me. Like, I went right up and was like, hey, this
Yeah.
guy's like, and they're like, oh, we're done. And I'm like, oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah, he
But
rips, man. He's
What's his name?
Brandon Woody.
That's him.
Yeah.
Brandon Woody.
Yeah, it's like
the
he's
nicest guy, too.
Yeah, we've.
Super nice.
That's the thing, that there's a lot of talent in Baltimore.
Dude,
There's
it's-
a ton of talent in Baltimore. And that's the thing, is like the whole thing with the variety show is all Baltimore based.
See, Chris is like us. You just want to, like, when radio and television stopped caring about local stuff, that's what gave me the idea for this show.
Baltimore's such a cool town.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
I love
very
this
cool
city.
town.
yeah.
And the
Yeah.
talent is second to none.
Yep.
Really is. All right, Christopher Schaefer. Go to ChristopherSchaefer.com. Check out his work. It is impeccable. I've owned the suit. It's amazing. Do yourself a favor and do that. Check out the charity. Is that on the website?
There's a link to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sharp Dressed Man.
Yep, perfect. Do that. Matt, we will be back tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got a ghost hunter coming up on our show. It's Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday. So I just wanted to
Yeah, I love that.
promote that. I think they're gonna bring like their ghost hunting gadgets in here that we
If
can
they
take a look
tell us
at.
this room's haunted,
I know I'm out. We're
They're
out,
getting
right?
out.
I know.
and the show's over. The show is over.
We're
All
gonna have
right.
to find a new building, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Don't worry. There's 17 of them. We just about to move. Thank you, everyone. It's an amazing honor to entertain you every day. We cannot thank you enough. Check us out on YouTube. Rumble, by the way, today, again, just incredible people on Rumble.
Yeah, thank you to all our Rumble people. Thank you for all the subscriptions and donations, and it's been amazing.
We're
Yeah.
coming for you, Rumble. Trust me. It is all in the works. Also want to thank, without a doubt, all the Facebook fans and then all the businesses that are involved with us right now that are negotiating.
Yeah,
We appreciate
truly
you.
grateful, man.
Yeah.
Truly grateful.
We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. We're back at 5 every day. See you guys. Bye.